Come on, let's be positive. Just stop right there. No negativity. Let's be positive. LBP, let's be positive.
LBP, let's be positive. Matt Gunn out of Twizel. We spent the weekend together in central Otago at the Kurow Rugby Club celebrating their 125th anniversary. The very special guest was the KK, the Kurow kid himself, Richie McCaw. And, just the chance to sit on stage with this dude, Matt, for 20 minutes, 25 minutes, a absolutely spellbound audience, and watching him during the day, during the afternoon, signing every autograph, taking every photo. Every kid wants to pass him the ball. The man is an absolute prince, and I'm sure whoever gets to meet him or spend time around him, every single parent in the place would want him as a son.
Well, he just comes across as your average bloke. And to think what he's achieved with the attitude he has, I think says a lot about his family, where he came from, the roots of the guy. He was terrific up on stage. You did about 20 minutes of an interview with him at the end of the night. The crowd were just dining out on every word. They absolutely quiet as a mouse, 300-odd people there in the hall after a pretty big night of imbibing, let's say, and a big win because, of course, we started the day at the Kurow Rugby Ground, the Domain, where Kurow beat Mahino by 71 to something. They absolutely trounced them. There was a fantastic Barbarians game. I got to work alongside John Macbeth, just doing a tiny portion of a commentary during the game. It was unbelievable being at Club Rugby. I haven't been for a long time. Spent the day there, delightful. Then the 125th celebration, 11 life members, including Richie. Hearing John Macbeth speak was fantastic.
Brilliant,
his favourite. He said, "I'm going to speak about my favourite topic, me."
Yes,
and he did.
He did too. Funny as mate, brilliant. It was just so funny. Yeah.
It was a great atmosphere and a real reflection of what these clubs mean to New Zealand rugby. And what would have been great, Martin, and a couple of people mentioned it to me on the day, wouldn't it have been nice to have a New Zealand Rugby Union board member at an event like that?
Please.
Back to the grassroots. It's taken months and months and months of planning. The entire community is behind it. Everywhere you turned in Kurow on Saturday, people were running around, playing their part. And it's just it's a golden moment to reflect on what these clubs mean, not just rugby clubs, but all these sporting clubs throughout these little country towns. 370 people live in Kurow. They've got a club that's going well financially. They won the last two competitions they've played in. They're looking good for this year, and they've got maybe 350 people at the game and then another 300 people at the evening's event. It just says that they're so important, and board members would do well to poke their head into an event or two like this and see what it means at the grassroots and think about how they incorporate that with what they do with the All Blacks, the money spinner, going forward, because I couldn't have had a better weekend. It was awesome to catch up with you too, me old mate, because it's been too long.
Yeah, it's been too long, bro. No, I just sat there, throughout and just saw, the Silver Lake money comes in and they make a big song and dance and they pat each other on the back about, they're handing out 5,000 for a rugby club here and 2,000 here and 8,000 there. And I was thinking, they're the actual club rooms, which is a shack. I mean, what we've got to tell you people is that the club rooms were a whole lot of vans, with the back open, or a ute with the back open, and a whole lot of blokes getting changed on the flatbed of a truck and then having a beer after. That's the club rooms essentially. You give a place like that $5,000, mate. I mean, where do you even start? As they're told, they've got to rebuild all the toilets to accommodate, the women's teams and so forth. This club exists purely and solely because of the hard work, the sweat, and the love and the tears of every one of those people. No one was getting paid for this weekend. Let's tell you that. We're all making our own way there. We're all doing this because we wanted to be there. And every single local person, from the kids kicking the ball around, who were all looking at Richie McCaw, and you're thinking, who didn't make that connection for a start, Matt? Wow, I wonder whether there's another young boy or girl here that's going to go on and overachieve like this man has. Every single thing at that club. If they want something fixed, the local chippy does it. If they want a bit of concrete, the guy gets his truck out, probably nicks a bit from the boss and brings it to. You know what I mean? This is real New Zealand happening here. It's happening because people actually care about it. Head office, you do a great lot of work, New Zealand Rugby, But the day you think that this doesn't actually fund and also be the bedrock of what this game is in New Zealand, you've lost your minds, because without this and all of these volunteers and all of these good people, the sport doesn't ever have a future in this country. I just wish that those in Wellington would actually get out of that glass building, get off the high horse and come and actually see. This is it. This is the future of the game, as it's always been the future of the game.
Who did you run into there over the weekend that wasn't 100% behind what was happening? Callum Reid, who got us involved or gave me the initial call, he was there, run off his feet. His wife was run off her feet. But you know what? The smile on their face and what they brought together was incredible. I don't know if they make money from the dinner and all the rest of it, but they had the auction at the end of the night for the jerseys that the Kurow Premier team played in on the Saturday. Someone took them home, Martin, and washed them between 4 o'clock and 8 o'clock or 8:30 when the auction took place. And the people involved in this small community, I didn't see the final figure, but the average was probably $1,200, $1,300, $1,400 a jersey, and they auctioned off 18 or so jerseys. So, the community itself, forget about your $5,000 handout from the golden handshake that New Zealand Rugby got. This group of people have raised over 20 grand for themselves to keep their own club going. And then they all just put in their own time to do it. It is a real eye-opener when you primarily watch Premier Sport, to go back to the grassroots club level and just see what it takes and how much of the community has to be involved to make it work, and yet they do. And congratulations to everyone involved. They even put a book out, Martin, to celebrate the 125th. We both got a copy of that. Look, it was sensational. And as I say, and I'm not the only one thinking it, but there could be some of these board members who will be taking more than the club turns over probably at times. It would do them well to go out and actually have a look at it. Forget about the corporate box at a Super Rugby game or a test match. Get out to Kurow or Mahino or somewhere in South Canterbury or wherever it might be, somewhere in Northland, and actually see what it takes to keep your game that delivers your All Blacks and your champions. Really, they start at some of these clubs, juniors. They deliver it and then you take over, but maybe you should go and run your eye over what they're up to every now and again.